Peace and blessings, everyone. Queen Osset here, and welcome back to my channel. Apparently my last video, for what I understand, ruffled some feathers. Well, I'm not here to apologize. I make no apologies for that. And by some of the comments that I have since removed, my warning of tread lightly is the exact reason why I voiced it as that. See, we are part of a community that will fully embrace you. If you're new on the scene, if you say the right things, you stay in line, you follow the status quo. But the minute you want to step on to your own path, create your own path, then it becomes problematic. Now, sometimes one's approach is not always the easiest, and it's not always the warmest. And sometimes, we can have an issue with delivery. And sometimes that delivery is something that needs to be processed by each individual. For me, in order to be open and receptive to the information that is imparted, I have to make sure that I do not personalize the giver, the teacher, the mentor. I don't attach any sort of personal emotion to that person, that thing, or whatever. I see it for what it is and take the lessons from it at that. And that way, should something come up that causes me to think, I don't become so offended. And that's what I mean when I say tread lightly. Because I also understand that many of us do personalize things. We are open and welcoming, as I said. Oh, I like that person. I love that person. That is a high standard for someone to meet or maintain. Do I do this because I want to continue to be liked? Oh, they love me. Do I do this and not do this? Suppose I do this and they don't like me anymore. Well, it takes a lot of work, inner work, to get to that place where you can just be your authentic self without judgment. Now, it's kind of ironic that many of you required an explanation of what my personal belief was. And I'm actually glad that you required that. That's you taking ownership. But you must also understand that I am not in a position, nor do I have a desire, to give you a response. I am not beholden to you whatsoever. To those of you who unsubscribed, and I know that you'll be back here checking, well, I send you along with love and peace. Thank you for coming by my channel, and may you continue to progress in your life. But I did have one person who called me the archetypical queen. She said that I was, let me put on my glasses here. She said that I was rude and I had an insatiable appetite for ego gratification. She also called me an egomaniac. Now, I am a queen. And for many of you, I encourage you to tap into and find your own inner queen as well. So I looked up Carolyn Mace's, you see that? You can't, the glare. But you're familiar with Carolyn Mace, the archetypes. And I just did a quick glance of the archetypes in here. And she said the queen represents power and authority in women who symbolically rule over anything, from a corporation to the home. She said the queen is associated with positive arrogance and a need to protect one's personal and emotional power. She says the shadow queen can slip into aggressive and destructive patterns of behavior, particularly when authority or control is challenged. So, I'm thinking that that person who left that comment for me, even though it wasn't their intention, they actually paid me a comment. They paid me a compliment, rather. I'm sure that their compliment or that comment was meant to be derisive, to tear me down, to put me in my place. Unfortunately, because I've done my work. I am self-assured. I can be assertive, and at times I can be aggressive. I can be opinionated, just like Natalia. One thing I am not is a coward. I don't hide behind anyone's skirts, anyone's beliefs or ethics. I choose to search those things out for myself. And I am also able to recognize one's inner queen. I am here, I feel, to help all of us grow. To have you pull out that inner divine, that regal spark within yourself, to empower you. That's what I do. My delivery isn't always the best. Believe me, I've come a long way. But when you hide behind this screen and you want to hurl insults at me, well, I don't spend a lot of time wondering. But I don't give you a lot of attention either. But in case you really are in that place where you feel like you want to tear me down, let me throw some more adjectives your way. Let me give you some more descriptions. Let's see. I've been told I have an insatiable appetite. I do. Chocolate, high heels, fabric, tarot cards, oracle cards, music and dance. Absolutely, my appetite is insatiable. So here's the thing. I could be a gum-chewing, booty-short-wearing, round-the-way girl, or a cane-wielding abuela making Sunday dinner. I could be a tequila-swigging, foul-mouthed diva, or I could be Ivory So Pure, or RuPaul'd to the max. I could be sitting at the head of a conference table, or at the foot of the bed of my child. And through all of that, I am still a queen. Perhaps you should tap into your own inner queen. Give her some light. She deserves that. It's not an easy journey, but it's not a journey that one should take or embark on by tearing someone else down. When I was younger, much, much younger, I came across a poem that stayed with me, that I use it as a fortification. I root into it when society wants to denigrate me and tear me down and make me feel bad for being who and what I am. I remember these words. I read these words to myself. And to every little girl coming up. And this little girl could be age 3 or 63. And it doesn't matter your race. This poem is for you. was born in the Congo. I walked to the Fertile Crescent and built the Sphinx. I designed a pyramid so tough that a star that only glows every 100 years falls into the center, giving divine, perfect light. I am bad. I sat on a throne drinking nectar with Allah. I got hot and sent an ice age to Europe to cool my thirst. My oldest daughter is Nefertiti. The tears from my birth pains created the Nile. I am a beautiful woman. I gazed on the forest and burned out the Sahara Desert. And with a packet of goat's meat and a change of clothes, I crossed it in 2 hours. I am a gazelle so swift, you can't catch me. For a birthday present when he was 3, I gave my son Hannibal an elephant, and he gave me Rome for Mother's Day. My strength flows ever on. My son Noah built Newark, and I stood proudly at the helm as we sailed on a soft summer day. I turned myself into myself and was Jesus. Men intoned my loving name. All praises, I am the one who would save. I sow diamonds in my backyard. My bowels deliver uranium. The filings from my fingernails are semi-precious jewels. On a trip north, I caught a cold and blew my nose, giving oil to the Arab world. I am so hip, even my errors are correct. I sailed west to reach east and had to round off the earth as I went. The hair from my head thinned and gold was laid across 3 continents. I am so perfect, so divine, so ethereal, so surreal. I cannot be comprehended except by my permission. I mean, I can fly like a bird in the sky. That was written by Nikki Giovanni. So for those of you who do not believe that you are a queen, find this poem, read it to yourself, embrace it. Do not seek to build your throne, your realm, by tearing down others. Give each of us guidance, words of wisdom. Not everything we say is meant for attack. So, to you, I say, give your inner queens and kings some light. Give them some love. When you do that, then you can recognize the queens and the kings in other people. And you may think about tearing them down. I will see you all in my next video. Until then, take care.